Identifying Prepositions podcast, a grammar study by me, Lisa Lucas. I am your host for this podcast. This instructional asset is for Dr. Hammond's class, EDCI 5310, Instructional Theory and Design, Spring 2010, Texas Tech University, College of Education. The objectives of this podcast are as follows. Students will be able to identify and use prepositions and prepositional phrases. Students will be able to use prepositions to describe objects in relation to one another. Part 1. What is a preposition? A preposition is a part of speech that shows a relationship between two things. The first is location, on, under, in. The second is timing, before, after, during. And the last is direction, from, toward, to. Getting to know prepositions. Think of a preposition as a word that describes where a rabbit can be located in relation to a log. Here's the rabbit, and here's the log. The rabbit can go under the log, it can go above the log, or it can go beside the log. You get the picture. So let's practice. The rabbit jumped on the log. Here's the rabbit and here's the log. The relation is one is on top of the other, with the rabbit being on top of the log. Here's some more practice. Here's our little rabbit. The rabbit is behind the log. The relation is one is behind the other. Exploring prepositional phrases examples. Here is a list of some common prepositions. There are quite a few, and we will use these to practice in just a little bit. So let's test your knowledge. Okay, which of these words in this following sentence is a preposition? The dog in the yard is mine. And here are our options: dog, yard, in, and mine. If you chose in, which is in red, you are correct. Yay! Here is another sentence. Which of these words in this sentence is a preposition? Mark is the boy beside the bike. And here are our options: boy, Mark, bike, and beside. If you chose beside, you are correct. Yay! Here we go again. Okay, which of the following words is a preposition in this sentence? The boys ran through the park. And our options are through, boys, and park. If you chose through, once again, you're correct. Okay, we're moving on to the next part of our podcast, which is recognizing prepositional phrases. So let's review the sentences that we've worked with thus far. The dog in the yard is mine. Mark is the boy beside the bike. And the boys ran through the park. As you notice, the prepositions are in red: in, beside, and through. These are the prepositional phrases in those sentences: in the yard, beside the bike, through the park. Prepositional phrases are phrases that begin with the preposition and end with the object of the preposition. So let's move on to the next part of this podcast, which is deciphering the object of a preposition. An object of a preposition must be a noun or a pronoun and must come at the end of a prepositional phrase. For example, the dog ran out the door. Door is a noun that ends the prepositional phrase. Door is the object of the preposition. So once again, let's test our knowledge. Identify the prepositional phrase in the following sentence. Columbus discovered many places in the world. And our options are Columbus discovered many places and in the world. So let's see if we can figure out which is the prepositional phrase. If you chose in the world, you are correct. Way to go. And our next sentence is, the fox chased the deer down the trail. And our options are the fox, chase the deer, and down the trail. Let's see if you got this one correct. If you chose down the trail, you are correct. And finally, Juan put the Beanie Babies on his bed. So let's see if you can identify the prepositional phrase in the following sentence. Is it Juan put, is it the Beanie Babies, or is it on his bed? If you chose on his bed, you are correct. The end. You sure know your prepositions and prepositional phrases. Way to go! You get a trophy. This has been an instructional asset for Dr. Hammond's class 5310 Curriculum and Instruction, Spring 2010, Texas Tech University's College of Education. I hope you enjoyed this